G'day YouTube. We're back on the lathe again today. What we're going to have a look at is these. Okay, so this is a sort of a continuation from the shotgun shells. Okay, yeah. Well, anyway, so what I've been trying to do is figure out a way we could probably use these in our experiments. The plastic's not necessarily, the plastic is HDPE. Okay, now the thing is that the process I'm using at the moment I can't use these this plastic. Okay. The plastic I use is more like LDPE, or any sort of plastic that actually flows. When you heat it up and it melts, it makes a puddle. That's the plastic that I'm looking for. But with this plastic here, you can extrude it out and extrude it if you had an extruder. Anyway, I am building an extruder, but anyway, that's a little bit off at the moment. Still waiting for parts from AliExpress. Anyway, so what I've done is I had a couple of blue ones doing it, so I melted some blue ones. Anyway, and in the previous video that I did, what it showed was that when you heat it and melt it down, it has this inner black ring. That's from, I believe, the gunpowder. Anyway, so I have got one of these. I've split it down the guts and I've tried to clean it. I've used acetone, that didn't work. I used metho, that didn't work. I used metho, acetone, terps even, that didn't clean any of that up. Well, it sort of did clean it, but then when you put it in the oven, it turns out just like the ace of spades, still black. Still black. Alright, anyway, so what I thought was, what we could do is, if we made a little mandrel up, all I do is I stick it in the oven, and what happens is it'll melt down and it'll melt to a certain size, I hope, and the inner hole will be round. Then I thought to myself, well, oops, it's gone somewhere. Anyway, lucky I have a couple more. Anyway, so then if we can get a certain size, we should be able to drill straight through the center here and be able to just clean it up. Okay, this outside bit here, that can be cleaned up with acetone, or even I tried metho, that worked, that cleaned that up, so that the outside isn't an issue, just the inner side is. Alright, so once we drill that out, then we've got nice virgin plastic to work with. Even though it's quite hard, we might be able to use it somehow. Okay, so my thought was, what I'll do is I'll just make a little spigot I can put this on. Then when I put it in the oven and it melts down, it'll go down to the certain size. Then later on once I do a few of them, I can put in the drill press and just run the drill through it and should clean it up. That's the theory. Okay, so I've measured these. These are about 14 mil, but then again, I didn't necessarily leave these in the oven too long. The one that I dropped on the floor, it measures 13 in one direction and 12 in the other. So that was one I had left in there longer. So what I'm doing is I'm going to do it round 13 mil, I think. That might be a good size. It might not be, but... So the first attempt, what I'll do is I'll make it 13. And I may even make another one a little bit bigger, just so we know what sort of size. Then what we've got to do is we've got to find a little drill or something to drill them out. So I'm hoping if I can put this down to 13 mil, and if these shrink down to 13 mil, then I can just run a 14 mil drill through there and it should clean it up. Well, that's the hope anyway. Otherwise we'd have to do some sort of, I don't know, maybe make some sort of like little thing to put on the lathe, but that makes a whole lot of work that really don't want to do. You could do, once you get a few of them, just stick it in, just bore it out, but since there's like, we could have like hundreds of these, that'd make the job a whole lot harder. No wonder why there's like heaps and heaps of these gun shells that just littering around the place. I know over in England I was having a look on YouTube, and there's a gun club that has like probably millions and millions of these just strewn around this big pile. They thought it was a tourist attraction. I think it's more like a eyesore, but I don't know. I'm not a shell collector, or I don't know. This one's a, what is it, I have no idea. No idea. If any of you recognise that, you can tell me. Can't read it. Sniper X? I don't know. So basically what I'm going to do is just turn up a little shaft that's 13 mil, put a little spacer on the back of it. That way you can stick it in the oven, it'll sit down, then it will just melt down on that and gravity will take it to the bottom, and hopefully we can get off then. Well, anyhow, here we go. First of all, we need a size to go to, so we'll probably do about there. So what I need to do is, so we need a, yeah, we'll go there, then I'll just redo it when I part it off. Alright. I'm just running this dry. Haven't had the coolant machine on for years. I probably should look at it, but it all evaporated away. But what I do is not necessarily that much of a concern. Just feeding it by hand at the moment. past. I'm wearing Crocs at the moment, and a little bit of sloth got in the croc hole. That's rather funny, actually. Mentioning hole on the video. Never thought we'd mention the croc hole. Well, that's the start anyway. I'll bring you back when I've gone down a little bit. We're just roughing it down to the size at the moment. It's not critical, but it just gives me something to work to. Then all we do is we just rough it out from there. Need to upgrade my lighting. Put an LED in here, it'd be good. That should be about 20 mil, I think. Fine. Close. $20 Well, we need to go down to 13, so there's another 7 mil off that, so another probably one rotation, I think. Where do we start from? There, 30. Yeah, one rotation should get me down to 15 anyway. And the good thing is that when you do it like this, if you make a mistake on the first bit, then it's easier to correct. But if you roughed it down to that size originally, then you could screw up. Alright. Okay, so that should be, alright, should be 15 mil. Alright, that's good enough. That's good enough as my roughing depth, then I'll just easily finish that up. Alright. Bring it out and we can just start cutting away at it. Once I get down the end, I'll have to readjust the tool. I'll bring you back once I'll rough you out a bit more. Only taking about a 2 mil cut. It's good enough for this machine, so what I do is I just rough it to that shoulder. And the shoulder will be, because the tool's on an angle, it will be a step shoulder. So what I do is when I turn the tool up 90 degrees, then I can clean up the corner. I do a finish cut and clean the corner up so They'll be all one I have another 1.5 mil to come off this this size here. I have cleaned up this edge here, so that's all good. Yeah, so just another 1.5 mil, then we'll be on size. Currently we are 14.5. It's not necessarily super critical, but we're trying to go for that 13 mil. See how we go. 1.5 mil. Right, so try here. See if I screw up. Better check that. Looks a little bit deep. I think of it. Oh, come on, work with me, huh? All right, what do we get? It's 12 and 12.5. Or a bit. So I got to come back 0.5 mil. All right. So go to that 2. It won't really matter too much about that front bit. I'm going to put an angle on it. Alright, we'll give that a go. It'll be pretty close. That's good enough for me. That's 15, 14, 13 mil. Yeah, it's 15.3. Yeah, I'll go with that. So this should be my final pass. Won't matter if it's a tiny bit big, just for what it is. I can even take a 0.2 clean up pass once I finish. So what I'm going to do is towards this back bit here, we're going to put a bit of an angle on. So not much, probably maybe 1 or 2 degree taper. Because basically the size we want's down the bottom there, so this front bit doesn't really matter too much. But we do need the height anyway. This way, if I put a bit of taper on, I can put some of those other ones that I did before, and I'll just slip those over the top. Then it'll be able to push them down. then I reform them back into a circle. Yeah, what I might do is I might just take possibly a 0.2, I'll just measure it first. I think you find that's almost about it for that size. Other than alright, we'll see together, eh? Think that's good enough. 13 mil. Well, 13.1 really. Alright, so that's good. Just need to put a taper on here. Take the burr off. Here, there. Then I'll just give this a tad bit more clean up. Then we can just part that off. Then, yeah. That's what I'm going to do. Bring it back. Okay, what I've decided was I'm going to put a 5-degree taper on here. So I'll probably go up to maybe around here-ish. See how we go. Right, videoing. A little bit more. Okay, that looks good to me. All I do now is I'll just put a chamfer on this edge here, chamfer on this edge here, then I can start parting it off, then put a chamfer on the back edge. Then it'll be done. It's good enough for me. I'll bring it back. I'm on the final stages of the of this little one. All I'm doing now is just parting it off. I put the chamfer on that edge, and that edge. Yeah, so all I need to do now is just part it off. And basically we're done. Clean the back side up and we're done. Hopefully this will give me a nice finish on the back, so we won't really have to do too much. Since I don't have a, the coolant isn't working, just put some Treflex on there. Not long now. Probably be about 2 mil left. Take this off. Take off this tailstock. Bend it, and it should pop off in a minute. There you go. I just file this back bit and we should be good to go. Give it a bit of a clean and yeah, no, that's pretty good. Pretty good.